Starrcast weekend, Nashville, Tennessee. First off, how was it being back in Nashville for you?
Well, look, I love Nashville. I met my wife in Memphis, but I was living in Nashville at the time, and so I've lived in Nashville at several different points in my life. Once when I was really young in high school or in elementary school, and then when I was first wrestling, as after I first quit the WWE, I lived there for about a year and a half. And then, of course, I've gone back there and wrestled a million times. And so, yeah, it was great to be back there. But also great to be around a lot of old friends that I haven't seen in a long time. And that's not, I wasn't so much talking about, and we will, but I'm not so much talking about the convention itself, the 2 days of autograph signing and memorabilia and stuff. I'm talking about the actual show itself. We got to work with a great crew.
Yeah.
From it was kind of a blended family, to say the least. A blended family. So some members of the Fight TV crew.
Yep.
Yeah, members of the Impact crew. Me and you, Katsy, and my brother Scott. So
representatives from MLW.
Some reject representative there. But yeah, representatives from AAA, MLW,
New Japan,
GCW, New Japan. Like, holy mackerel! It's just incredible. He developed his own Wrestleverse, his wrestling multiverse, if you will.
Absolutely.
But he developed that, and man, how we got all of that stuff together, and then to work in cohesion, if that's even a word. If it's not, it should be.
Cohesion.
But to work together like a fine old machine, dude, and put that show together. And look, we had a couple of hiccups on the pre-show, but that was just us, ironing out our wrinkles as
we'll break that down in a little bit.
Yeah, as a family, a blended family. But man, by this time it was showtime, all wrinkles were out, and we were ready to rock and roll. I'm sorry about my voice, man.
The Starrcast convention itself was busy and filled with fanatics showing love to the legends, and the list of legends was huge. When you showed up for your first signing, tell me about some of the names you ran into, saw, or interacted with.
So me and my brother Scott are both sticklers. I guess it comes from my Marine Corps thing, but we were there at like 8 o'clock, and we didn't have to be there till 9. So of course we set our stuff up, and we sat there looking at our phones until people started walking in. But some of the first people we saw were Ronnie Hands of Stone Garvin, that we haven't seen in a while. So we both spent some time talking to him. Rick Steiner, the Steiners came by, and I won't tell you what Rick did, but Rick's crazy, and I love him.
I got to push. Can you give me a little bit more than that? Did he grab you in a fun, funky way?
No,
did he make you feel warm and bubbly inside?
His brother does that, and it never makes me feel warm and bubbly. It almost makes me urinate on myself because he's so strong and doesn't realize it, I don't think. I'm gonna pass on what Rick did because I don't think it's good.
Was there anyone you were surprised to see? Someone that just showed up, you're like, oh, I wasn't expecting to see you here.
You know what? Not at the convention.
Just at the event itself.
People showed up at the show that I thought, like, holy mackerel, there's Kid Rock. Holy mackerel, there's every Undertaker. And so everybody came by with respect to the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
You do these signings regularly, and you always look like you're having a blast. What do you like most about the signings? Is it the interacting with the fans, telling stories, seeing old friends? What is it?
Well, all of the above, but I'll say this. I love Billy Gunn. I think he likes me too. We have a good time when we're together. We think a lot alike. We talk a lot alike. We, end each other's sentences. Our wives even say, you guys are just alike. So it's really fun to be with him for the short period of time I get to be with him. And so, man, we just have fun. And we quasi joke about it being the outlaw experience when you come to see us. But I believe that you're coming out there and spending your hard-earned money. And believe you me, people spent their hard-earned money this weekend. And I believe they should have some kind of experience with you. I've always thought that way. There are some times in my past when I was drinking and drugging that I don't know if I was always kind and fun and professional, and that haunts me a little bit. I always want people to go, man, it was really cool meeting you and Billy. You know what I mean? I want them to walk away with that. And look, I joke around a lot. I have fun. I love it. I love interacting with them. But then, of course, you get to see old friends. You know what I mean? And like we talked about the Steiners and the Nasty Boys and just Jeff Jarrett. And, everybody was there. Tatanka, Chris Chavez. Like, everybody was there and signed. Look, saw Emma and Summer Rae.
Yep.
I don't think that's their real names.
Tennille. And I actually don't know Summer's real name. But...
Tennille and Danielle is Summer's real name. Saw them. Saw Stephanie DeLander, a.k.a. Persia Parada.
Yeah, I did as
well. What a wonderful name. I sang that every time in NXT. Just seeing people that I have relationships with, because that's what it's all about, right? Of course, I had a job to do too, but man, I believe you can have fun doing that as well.
I was going to bring that up. So much going on all the weekend, and of course you have responsibilities and obligations, but did you get to check out any of the other events, panels, or shows? The Roast, GCW, New Japan, any of the podcast panels, or were you pretty busy just setting up for the show itself and doing the signings?
I really wish I would have seen some of that stuff. From what I understand, the GCW show was raucous as usual, and I would have kind of liked to have seen that.
Finished at like 2:30 a.m.
Yeah. I don't know if it was GCW or the Insane Clown Posse, but either way, they were working until friggin' 3 in the morning. What were we talking about?
Yeah, there it goes. Yeah. It's been a while.
Hit it, Jack. I'm cool with that.
Scratchy throat. All right, we'll continue talking about the weekend, and we're going to do a deep dive into Ric Flair's last match, which of course saw the 73-year-old's blood flowing, albeit with a little less viscosity and volume. A lot of hard work went into pulling off the weekend, and a lot of that hard work was done by members of our show team, Steve Kaufman and Dominic D'Angelo. Come on in and join us right here.
Join us.
You guys help us pull off this show each and every week, so let's give you guys some love.
Wait, we got to get the lower thirds all. Okay, we're good. Thank you.
There we go.
I wasn't sure who I was for a second there.
You guys were working hard all weekend. Every time I saw you, you were all running around and doing a lot of things. Talk to me about your weekend, guys. How was Starrcast?
Steve, shoot it off.
Starrcast was pretty incredible. Never been to Nashville, never been to the Nashville Fairgrounds. Didn't know what quite to expect from Starrcast. It was the second Starrcast I ever worked. I worked Starrcast 2 in Las Vegas as just production support, similar to what I did this weekend. And I think I would say somehow it wound up being like triple the size in spite of having like less stage shows. Because that Las Vegas show had like double the stage shows.
Okay.
Whereas this one just had more convention floor, more stuff to do, wrestling shows. And it all fell on like 6 people with bubble gum and like bubble gum and duct tape.
Yes, amen. I definitely want to shout out to Maureen Tracy and Dave Silva. And you guys probably know some more names, but man, those are unsung heroes.
Silva's a workhorse, man. He was going too.
And Maureen was moving 90 miles an hour, and I bet you she's glad that this weekend is over. But I am too. So yeah. Did you Dom? You go ahead and tell us about your experience. I'm sorry I cut you off.
No. I thought Starrcast. I've been to every one so far, and seeing how it's evolved and changed in a lot of ways. Like, I think something that's most fascinating about it is Conrad's able to keep things fresh for a lot of whether it's the panels or the certain guests that come in. It's very, very impressive to see just people come out. And what's so neat about Starrcast, too, from a convention standpoint, is you can tell everybody's just enjoying themselves and loving being there, too. It's a very overall positive vibe that comes from these fans. And since it's been gone for, since COVID and stuff like that, and finally got to come back, it's neat to see. And just people working and together, cohesively. And I thought that was really great. From the Ric Flair last match stuff, Dogg, I'm not putting you over here, but I was super impressed with the production meeting. And
yes,
you being able to convey a message and be on top of things. Like your whole attitude completely changed, and you like had everything laid out. Like I get so frustrated when people on Twitter like give you a hard time about anything like that, and seeing you just be able to convey that message to people and delegate across the board with all these cross promotions, I thought was really fantastic. Like,
Dogg, I'll second that. I had a lot of people come up to me and bring that up specifically about how you did run the meeting and took control while still being fun, loose, not being like, I'm a boss, I'm in charge, but taking control, being in charge without acting like, hey, I'm on top and you guys have to listen to me. People just kept coming up to me saying how impressed they were of how you were running the ship.
Well, look, I appreciate that. I don't know any other way to do it. It comes from me being a sergeant in the Marine Corps. Like I literally went to like non-commissioned officers training school where we studied leadership traits and qualities and stuff like that. And so I think I've learned a little bit from that, just about. And look, it's not about taking charge and being forceful. It's about getting attention and bringing people on board to want to fight with you, or for you, and not against you. And so I believe you can, again, have a great time and put out good product. And I believe when you're having a good time and you put out a product, it resonates through the television to the viewing audience. And I firmly believe that. So I thank you guys for saying that. That's cool.
Dom, Steve, give me some dirt or drama. Any hiccups or obstacles you had to contend with? Because I know there were a few.
Steve, did you run into anything big?
Not that I can talk about. No.
There are some good ones that we can't talk about, but there are some we can talk about.
One I can say is the Click This live show. Because I produced that podcast, I also helped produce that live show. And Sean Oliver had a lot of assets that he made me pull and put up there for the live show. Anyone who watched that live show on Fight TV, there was a lower third for about an hour that I made that spelled questions wrong.
So it was your mistake.
It was my spelling mistake.
Okay.
But I was sitting there next to, I'm not going to say how many, you guys know how many people are backstage, probably a dozen.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm about to hit the remove Steve from the stream because of that, but
but go ahead.
I spelled questions wrong. Also, Dom, I didn't get a chance to text you. If you're going to use any social media clips from that stage show, you have to crop out the lower. No, you have to crop out the lower third that says
I'll still use the ones you messed up.
No. Send your questions, QUSTI. There was no
questions.
Questions.
Hey,
Dom, who are your favorite stars Who are your favorite stars to interact with? Obviously, you're a wrestling fan, so this has to be a big moment for you to be around everyone.
Very cool. It was so neat to interact with Lex Luger a little bit backstage. Such a very nice person.
Yeah.
I got the opportunity to meet Brian's brother Scott, and he was very nice.
Scott's the best.
He's so nice. And who else was really?
Did he give you a lifesaver?
He did not give me a lifesaver.
He tries to give. He always has candy in the go position, in the gorilla position, and he's a hell of a cook.
I would have definitely took one. As far as other people go, like I got to meet Arn Anderson. I got to meet Bischoff again. The thing is like everybody that's there, they're happy to be there and to get to interact with them. And even if they're doing business and working and stuff like that, anybody that I really interacted with was very positive. So Magnum TA was another great one.
Oh my God! I actually didn't see Magnum. That would have been awesome.
Yeah,
wow.
It was great. Mm-hmm.
Very cool. So we all know the work is never done. So now that you're home and had a day to rest, are you guys already hard at work on Starrcast 6? I mean, come on.
We're getting ready for Top Guy Weekend.
Top Guy Weekend in Chi-Town. Hey, but I'll tell you guys, just because this is how we do, that was yesterday. And I had a phone conversation today about the next one already.
Oh yeah. I'm sure we're gonna stay on. I'm sure we're gonna stay on after and compare notes and see. See if we all guessed right.
We all got the same feedback.
The same thing
But look, it was a great show. It was a great weekend, man. And I don't know how on the skeleton crew, and you mentioned the positivity, man, and it's not just I think you were talking about this too, but it's not just the people coming, it's the talent that's there too, is there because they're, and I wonder why that is it because it's so Starrcast and Conrad and all of that is, is it because it's so fan friendly? You know what I mean? Like
I also think Nashville helps with that. I mean, there's an energy
Yes.
in Nashville. If you're ever downtown, everyone is upbeat, happy, positive, friendly. Everyone's partying. There's all these little bicycle party buses and girls going wild everywhere. And everyone is just in the zone of happiness and zen. And I think that came over to the fairgrounds. It was just an awesome atmosphere.
I also
And let's just talk about the smell of marijuana in
Oh my
Nashville.
God.
Because for a city that is illegal both medicinally and recreationally,
is it illegal
That what?
medicinally?
it is.
Wow.
And
That's
it was
crazy.
intense.
Would have fooled me.
Yeah, you would have thought it was a legal city.
I live in California, and I sensed no difference.
But
I was like, oh,
yeah,
people are
that
smoking
makes me
weed.
wonder.
That's not a big
like,
deal to me.
Yeah, I didn't go out. I didn't smell the pot or see the girls gone wild, but they were just 12 years too late for me. Had I last time I was in Nashville with Jeff, we walked out and got really high and got in the hot tub. But this time we didn't. This time we didn't. We didn't leave together, and that answers one of the fan questions for later.
From panels to live events, autograph signings, merchandise opportunities, knowledge, history, legacy, legends, Starrcast is a must-attend event, and this one was really capped off by something really, really special, Ric Flair's last match. When we return from this quick little break, we're going to get into what it took to pull off the first of its kind mega show spectacular